Wendy's Pretzel Bacon Pub Cheeseburger is back. A flavor spectacle of pretzel proportion. Featuring applewood smoked bacon and hot and juicy beef. It puts beer cheese on top of Munster cheese and a pretzel bun on top of all that. Simply put, Wendy's Pretzel Pub puts the EAT in greatness. Try one today and see for yourself. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Pretzel Bacon Pub Cheeseburger.
For a limited time only at participating Wendy's.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your wages are being garnished. We can stop that now. It's hard enough to pay your bills when things are good, let alone when a big chunk of your take-home pay is gone before you even get your check. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne, and I can stop the garnishment and get the creditors off your back immediately, often the same day as our consultation. Both Chapter 7 and 13 provide bankruptcy relief, but choosing the right chapter is crucial. In a free consultation, we can create a plan to get your finances back under your control. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Pain in the Grass is back. It's the biggest rock festival in the Pacific Northwest, and it returns to White River Amphitheater for 3 big days. Labor Day weekend, and we're going to be celebrating many generations of rock all weekend long.
Yeah, we missed out on our 50th anniversary, so now we're doing it big for our 51st, and like you said, all weekend long, from Incubus to Alice in Chains to Sammy Hagar, BJ. It's going to be a party.
Yeah, all Labor Day weekends. The 2nd, 3rd, 4th, like Steve said, kickoff show happening on Wednesday, August 31st. That's at the Moore Theater with the Pretty Reckless and Aaron. Tickets on sale at Ticketmaster. And also, we still have a small number of those BJ and Migs party tickets available.
Yes, if it doesn't sell out, that means Joe is going to play the trumpet the entire time. So
oh, God,
we
please
need to sell it out.
Please.
Right.
Oh.
Tickets are selling quick, though, for it, so come hang out with us. A good chance to get away from all the craziness and have a drink and just get we usually hook people, well, we definitely will hook people up with like a cool little thing, like a shirt or a tchotchke.
Oh, a little tchotchke.
As my mom would call it.
All right. That's a nice thing.
Who doesn't love tchotchkes?
Who doesn't love drinks and tchotchkes?
Drinks and tchotchkes sounds like a cool bar.
Right. You want more information? You know where to go. KISW.com.
Let's play Beat Migs. It's time to play the game.
Yeah.
Scream his name. Beat Migs. Don't be a loser. Whoa. You're a loser.
It is time for Beat Migs, and it's Thursday, so let's get cracking!
Release the Kraken.
Sploosh. For a second there, I was afraid. I wasn't too sure if it was Thursday or not.
I know I had to do it in my head.
Yeah, I was just like, what day is it? Okay, yeah. Just look at your shirt, Steve.
Well,
look at that.
Here's the problem was that your children yesterday screwed everything up by wearing Kraken gear on Wednesday, completely just threw off my entire week.
Rev was so angry about it.
I agree.
I wasn't angry, but I'm with the Rev. It threw me off, too, when I saw Sarah rocking the Kraken thing. I was like, oh, wait, is today Wednesday or is it Thursday? I'm confused.
And then Joey did, and I thought, then that's when I was like, wait, something screwy. What's happening
Maybe
here?
you need to buy your kids a calendar.
Or more clothes.
Yeah, or more shirts or something.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. The kids that I employ, I need to buy things for them. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Totally, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you agree with us.
Yeah. Let's get to our contestant. We got James in Federal Way. James, are you there?
I am, and I'm excited. Last day of school, my kids are just watching the Sandlot and leaving at 10:30, so I'm ready.
Nice!
Ooh,
Last day, school's out for summer.
Yeah. Did James say he's excited? That's unusual for a parent to say, I'm excited for the last day of school. A lot of parents are excited for the first day of school. Good for you, James.
No, I'm the teacher.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so he gets all of those other children.
Congratulations, James. Thank you for what you do. Seriously.
Yeah, right? Well, let's get ready and see if Steve's going to get taken to school. Steve, get out of here. Goodbye. Taken to school. For those playing at home,
that's a pretty good one, wasn't it?
James will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. James, you can pass all you want, but you'll only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
I am.
The delicacy known as foie gras traditionally comes from what part of the duck or goose?
Liver.
Yes. Who is the lead singer of Slipknot?
Corey something. I don't know.
What Olympic athletics competition includes 10 different events?
The decathlon.
Yes. The first Tonka truck was made in what decade?
50, 60, 70.
No. There are 1,800 of what unit of time in a half hour?
Can you repeat that?
There are 1,800 of what unit of time in a half hour?
Milliseconds.
No.
Seconds.
Seconds, yes. What cocktail do you get when you mix whiskey, sweet vermouth, and bitters?
Whiskey sour?
No.
Pass.
What kind of dog did Queen Elizabeth II of England call her favorite?
A bulldog?
No.
Good guess.
Poodle?
No.
Pass.
What animal is on the Kellogg's Cornflakes box?
Rooster.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, correct.
Well, I think someone else is going to be taken to school on this one.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the worst I've ever done in 20 years. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
You must. You know what? His head's in the clouds. He's got summertime head.
Exact. Well, and also, I mean, these aren't necessarily those scholarly questions, and so I feel that these kind of lean a little bit more
I don't know,
towards
man.
Steve on these.
I feel like a couple of them, though, a teacher could know. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to say, James, this is not one of his best performances, like you said, and the entire industry of teaching probably is going to kick James out.
It's a good thing he's got a whole summer off to make up for that.
Yeah. You can study up, and then you can come back at the beginning of the school year and get schooled again.
A new set of students don't have to worry about them trash talking you.
Right?
Last day of school, Migs. First day of school, September 6th. I'm calling in.
Oh, let's do it.
All right.
Let's make this happen.
I feel like...
Is that a weekday?
I hope so.
Oh, wait. It's the first day of school.
Okay, I take it back. James is the winner. James has to be the winner just because of that. We should cancel the game after that.
Not the Saturday.
Really? Wow.
Oh, Saturday school.
Wow.
You never know. Maybe he's a Sunday school teacher.
How does he win anything? How did he beat me in poker? How do these things happen from this being?
That's a you problem, not a me
I
problem.
think it is. It has to be.
Are you ready?
Wow.
The delicacy known as foie gras traditionally comes from what part of the goose or duck?
The butt.
No.
The head?
No.
The bill.
No. Who is the lead singer
What
of
else is left?
Who is the lead singer of Slipknot?
Oh, Corey Taylor.
Yes. What Olympic athletics competition includes 10 different events?
Oh, I remember the video game. Decathlon.
Yes. The first Tonka truck was made in what decade?
The 1930s?
No.
40s?
Yes.
Nice.
There are 1,800 of what unit of time in a half hour?
Seconds.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What cocktail do you get when you mix whiskey, sweet vermouth, and bitters?
A whiskey sour.
No.
Oh,
Son of a.
you thought you had it.
Tom Collins.
No.
Sex on the Beach.
No. What type of dog?
Fuzzy Navel.
No. What type of dog did Queen Elizabeth II of England call her favorite?
Randy Jackson.
No.
Poodle.
No.
Randy Jackson.
A Shih Tzu.
No. What animal is on the Kellogg's Cornflakes box?
A tiger.
No.
Okay.
Wow. A bird.
No.
Yeah, that's
well, it is a bird, but no, you're
Toucan.
late on
Toucan.
that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Toucan Sam is on the cornflakes
know.
box.
You already asked that question.
No, he
Steve
didn't.
and James.
Oh, my God.
You both fail for the year because you tied 4 correct.
James, I feel better about you, sir.
Gosh, wow.
I really do.
I feel he should lose a point for the asking if I'm.
I agree.
No.
Should I get a loser song for that?
No. That was preseason.
Yeah,
Come on.
The season hadn't started
Don't I get
yet.
a little bit of something? Don't I get at least something like that at least?
No.
I should get that.
No, if that's the case, then
for both James and Steve. Yeah, you both get a little loser and a little winner there because
you both should go to summer school is really what needs to happen.
Exactly.
fair. When does that start? What season is summer school?
It starts on a Friday. It starts on a Sunday. Yeah. Thank you, James. Thanks for playing, buddy.
And thanks for being a
Enjoy
teacher.
your summer, sir.
Yeah, thanks for teaching our children. And
Yeah. Better you than me.
yes.
Yeah, Teach Your Children Well is a song both of you guys don't seem to know.
Teach your children well.
Foie gras does not come from the bill of
No,
the
it comes
duck
from
or
the-
goose. It comes from no.
Oh, it doesn't?
It comes from the liver. James got that one correct.
Steve, everybody knows that.
Who's eating goose liver?
It's very fancy. Like
Very
it's
fancy.
basically like
Oh, yeah.
caviar.
I mean, come on. I mean, fish.
Foie gras.
Who's eating goose liver as he's slopping down fish eggs? Who's doing that?
Yeah, it's like one of those. Like it's maybe good because it's fancy.
It's supposed to be really fatty and rich. Like they feed the duck a lot of fat.
It's it's really bad for the.
Why do you think Donald has no pants?
Oh, wow.
Because he
wants his liver exposed.
Yeah, they fatten him up by giving it to him in the liver.
The animal that's on the cornflakes box is the rooster. Wake up with cornflakes.
I say, everybody knows that.
Yeah, thanks, Foghorn.
No problem.
Does anybody know the whiskey, sweet vermouth, and bitters?
Danny better know.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
I would have never
I did not
that.
know that. Wow, that's a man.
I'm a whiskey guy.
Originally thought old fashioned, but then I was like, no, it's because that has the orange.
Yeah, and
nice
it's like
work.
I've had a Manhattan once, and I realized I have no refined palate because it was horrible, and I made a terrible mistake.
I love whiskey too, and I thought the exact same thing.
You've got to numb the tongue, baby. That's what it is with whiskey.
I just heard sour, bitter, so I'm like, I'm sour. Whiskey sour.
Oh, and James thought the same thing. You guys are sharing your brain right there.
I'm just as smart as any teacher out there.
Today, yes, you were. Does anybody know the dog that is Queen Elizabeth?
I do believe
II's favorite?
I think Vicky and I both know. What do you got, Vic?
No.
Corgi.
Yeah, the corgi.
Oh, the little fluffy butts.
I love my corgi.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
I like this.
I like them. They're cool.
So it says, this is why I can never play Beat Migs. Being a teacher has too much pressure. Please tell James I hope he had a wonderful summer break. You deserve it. Be kind to one another. Love our favorite teacher, Mrs. Jones.
Yeah, awesome.
No problem, man. And hey, enjoy your summer too, Mrs. Jones. Thank you for all you do.
Totally.
I don't know if you guys heard about this. 25 people were hurt doing a ridiculous team building exercise. What were they doing? I'll tell you at 7:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. 25 people in Switzerland had to be treated for burns Tuesday night after a team-building exercise where they had to walk across hot coals. All right. I mean, this was a Tony Robbins thing, I think, way back in the day. He was the one that I remember started this idea that you could really convince yourself that you wouldn't burn your feet.
Wasn't this a scene in The Office?
Yeah. I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Is that where they thought of this? Like, I see it in The Office, and that's a show about being in the office, so we should probably do this.
They should know The Office is really making fun of things in the world, and that was a thing. I believe it was Tony Robbins, if I'm not mistaken, that was his seminars, you do this.
Yeah, see, I never watched The Office, but I remember this clip because people would always share it because it's freaking funny.
Yeah, dude. The Office is a great show. 13 of these people who, again, it was a team building thing. And I am so surprised because this has got to be, 30, 40 years old that this started and they're still thinking this is something you should do for team building. But 13 of the people taken to the hospital with severe burns to their feet. The other 12 treated by paramedics at the scene.
Well, I mean, team building. They didn't say how you build the team, but I mean, they brought them all together, I bet.
Wow. To hate the guy who gave them the idea.
Fair. But they'll never forget the time that they all burned their collective feet. Or their foots.
God, and I would have been the guy going, I'm not doing this. And of course, the whole team would have hated me. Of course, I'd be the one not in the hospital.
But you'd also be able to walk after this.
Yeah.
Saying, I told you so.
And it's just like right out of The Office, Steve. They were at a private retreat by a lake. It's just like you see. That's exactly the scene from The Office.
I guarantee that they thought of this from that.
Oh, man, dude, no. And
I mean, we went to lunch yesterday as a show, and we're not on this level.
Yeah,
well, I'm walking on coals.
I was waiting for the hot coals to come out, honestly.
I wanted to do it, and you guys, the restaurant said, no, we don't do that kind of stuff.
And I'm like, why don't we just go get some ice cream, guys? You're like, no, we walk on coals.
We'll walk on coals to the ice cream social. We can do that.
Now we've earned it.
Yeah. Not clear what went wrong.
I don't know, getting the bottoms of their feet burned.
Yeah.
Probably is what went wrong.
I was told there was some sort of thing that they would do for the most part for some of these firewalking things that you didn't realize made you kind of be okay. Like, I don't know if they did something to your feet or whatever, but it wasn't like they pretty much made it so you couldn't burn your feet and some of these things. And even though it was like supposed to be your willpower doing it. So I don't know what these guys didn't do, but
they just stop there and like stand in the middle of the coals. I have no idea.
Oh man. Yeah, so 13 people taken to the hospital with severe burns to the feet because of a team building exercise in Switzerland. Wow.
It's the lukewarm topic of the day.
Well, I will tell you, it is a dumb thing to have the people in your workplace do. It really, really is. And so based on this, we want to know, what was the dumbest or strangest thing that you had to do at your job? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. What was the dumbest or strangest thing that you had to do at your job? Your calls, your texts after Lincoln Park on The Rock.
BJ and Migs. Mornings on The Rock. 99.9 KISW.
Julian Greening here from Bellingham Ford Lincoln with some exciting news. The order banks have opened for the 2023 models and we have great deals for you. Ford F-150, Bronco Sport or Ranger, and we will lock in your price, lock in your 500 rebate, and lock in your interest rate at 2.9 for 60 months on approval of credit. Custom build the vehicle you want and don't worry about price increases or rate hikes. Come see us at Bellingham Ford Lincoln on 1820 James Street or at bellinghamfordlincoln.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. 25 people were hurt on hot coals for a team building exercise. I know what you're thinking. If you're anybody who's in business going, what? People are doing the hot coal thing still?
And who do you run that by, or do you just, I guess you just don't run that by anyone?
It does feel like it's really right out like a Michael Scott The Office thing. It just feels like he thinks it's a great idea, and his management above him go, God, this guy's an idiot. Why?
Which is funny because it sounds like something out of The Office because, well, it happened exactly like that in The Office where they're all walking on hot coals.
Wow. So
although someone says the ash on the top of the coals acts as an insulator, and I guess they just light the coals on fire and walk right away and then actually wait for the coals to cool slightly, which would allow the layer of ash to stay on top of the coals, and that's how you don't get burnt.
Which is, yeah, so it's kind of a scammy thing because you're not really using, it is, you're not using willpower, which is what it's supposed to say is your power of positive thinking.
I thought it was just about having faith, like a trust fall. Like, you're leaning back, no one's really going to let you fall, but it's about, like, going past that mental block of trusting.
See, you and I both don't even know what the damn thing's about. How about we walk across the coals and we'd have a whole
it's just cold at night and you just want to heat up your feet.
Yeah.
The trick I've also been reading is that you can't walk neither too fast nor too slow. There's a right rhythm, because if you go too slow, you're obviously going to burn your feet. But if you go too fast,
you're moving stuff.
You're going to, and you're stepping too hard.
Oh.
So you sink in a little more, and that's how you can burn yourself pre-step.
Oh, so you gotta be like a little like
yeah, it's like you gotta just briskly walk.
Okay, I like how Vicky's the expert. Like, well, here's what you have to do. You know what, Vicky? I'm gonna throw you in it. You know what? We're gonna have a hot coal walk, and you're the only one doing it.
According to TonyRobbinsFirewalk.com, which apparently is a website.
Duh, I have it bookmarked.
Should have known, Steve.
If you find out, I want to know why they think it's, because Steve is right. Is it like a trust fall, or is it more like you're supposed to have, like, believe, like you're supposed to believe you can do anything? What is the goal of doing this?
I believe I can fly.
Yeah, I don't know, but we want to know this because it's a dumb thing to do. It really is. I mean, I remember when they first started doing this with Tony Robbins. I'm like, okay, Tony, this is pretty dumb.
Take us to happy hour. Let's all get drunk and have fun together.
Yeah.
Take us to a Kraken game. That's team bond.
That's a great idea. What is the dumbest or strangest thing that you've had to do at your job? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Someone said the boss I used to have would ask me to hold a quarter ounce of Coke for him or hide it in the office.
Oh, that's reasonable.
I was going to say, what's so weird about that?
Yeah, that's very, very reasonable. Yeah, I think that's a good thing.
Another person said I used to work for a company that would clean the playlands at McDonald's and other restaurants. So the crazy thing was I had to crawl through the tubes and clean them, and then I had also clean out the ball pits at Chuck E. Cheese and places like that.
Gross! How do you even clean those out? I mean, I feel like you just have to burn them.
I feel like that would be less, it'd be less gross to be like someone that has to deal with dead bodies.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Is anyone surprised they actually clean those? Like, this is the first time I've ever hearing about someone cleaning any of those play areas, because they're always sticky.
Yeah, I agree with you, Vic. Yeah.
That's the worst kind of sticky, too.
Yeah, I always just assume it's just like little kid snot everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I hope.
And drool.
And candy, when they get the
everything.
candy, everything.
Every kid sticky is the worst sticky. I mean, because they just, everything they come in contact with that's in liquid form, they put everywhere.
Sounds like a Run DMC song. Kid sticky. Kid sticky. It's kid sticky.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. We want to know the dumbest or strangest thing you had to do at your job.
I see your daughter just walked into the room, BJ. I can't imagine it's about anything here.
No, of course not.
Putting her up to go on a date with listeners.
Oh, yeah,
that wasn't
that's not weird at all.
That was like her first week. As soon as she walked in, guess what? We're selling you.
We're going to find you a man.
Yeah, and we're all going to go out with you on this date. It'll be great.
Yeah,
I know. That's when I realized, okay, I know Steve's motives now in life.
To look out for the best interest of your daughter.
Yeah, Steve's like, we're going to take a vegetarian to a steakhouse.
Not to get a free meal.
No, not at all.
That was just a benefit of the good gesture that a bunch of us decided to provide.
Let me tell you this right now. Now, if he would have taken you, like Steve would have find you the finest vegan restaurant in the area, and that's where your date would be.
Yeah. Well, I know that she doesn't eat meat. I didn't know that at the time.
Oh, is that what you did? Oh, yeah.
Sure you didn't.
So conscientious. See, he's always thinking about the people.
I care.
I think one of the most recent was at Live Day, where Vicky and I had to just stuff our mouth with any food that we could find and try to sing songs and have the listeners guess. I think that was just so strange. And honestly, I thought it was going to be way easier than it actually was.
Oh, my sweet summer child. I did a lot of that kind of stuff when I was an intern. That sounds bad.
I know. We put so many things.
I remember we had Blue wrapped you in chains and you had jelly in your mouth for an Alice in Chains kind of a song.
It started with singing Pearl Jam songs with jam in my mouth.
And then we just progressed to just whatever within your mouth.
See, now that was
you can
clever.
find the videos on YouTube, by the way, still.
The Pearl Jam, whoever came up with that idea, it was very clever to have to sing a Pearl Jam song with jam in your mouth. I really thought that was one. Thank you.
That's one of the,
see, that was a fine Steve moment right there. As much as I give Steve a hard time, that was what was his finer moments.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was just put anything in your mouth, have it full, and then sing a
then
song.
we just realized, there you go.
Kind of mailed it in on that one. Sorry.
Well, listen. The idea was just to put things in people's mouths. That's what the idea was.
There you go.
Yeah, it was pretty strange.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I think there's a lot of folks out there that really, from an almost fetish standpoint, just love to hear women sing with stuff in their mouth. I don't know why that is.
But with doing it, it's so not sexy. It's like the pieces of pastries and whatever's coming out. It's drooling. You can't understand anything. You can barely breathe.
Yeah.
It's not sexy.
It took me back to when you were a child.
Yeah, not for us.
Because you used to sing when we didn't understand what the hell you were talking about. Usually you were eating something in your high chair. So it really brought back good memories for me as Sarah's sitting there. It's time to put on a show while you're eating baby food. Great. This is fantastic. This is going to go everywhere. Thank you, Sarah.
It's the best I got.
Next time we'll get one of those little kid bibs. That way it catches
Actually, that would be very helpful.
Yeah. And please order an extra one for me.
Okay, that's fair.
Because I just need one in general.
Dude, how about this as far as the strangest thing that's happened at work? This is pretty epic. Someone texted into a coworker, actually our boss, said we had a mandatory fire drill. He just put it on the spot. And it turns out he did that so he could get everyone out of the office so he could bang one of our coworkers. Nice. They got busted. It was awesome.
Really?
Awesome.
That's what the boss did. Oh,
that's like the
power,
best, dumbest idea.
Right?
Like he thinks it's gonna work, and then follows through to absolute failure.
That's when you're thinking with your little head.
Yeah.
Because he's probably being like, oh man, I wish we could do it right now. And she's like, I wish we could too, but we have everyone here at the office. He goes, I've got a great idea. How about we have a mandatory fire drill? I'll send out an email. And then everyone leaves and we can bang.
So planned out. I love it, actually.
Wait, we got a fire drill today. Who's gonna bang who?
Is that why we're having the fire drill?
Oh, now I think it is.
Oh, who? All right, who said they had the fire drill? We need to go to their office and stake it out.
Oh, Daniel, who are you going to bang?
Danny's probably going to bang himself. That's the problem.
Whoa!
I mean,
hey, desperate times. He's got a full house these days.
Yeah, Danny's like, I need some alone time. Clear out the office.
Got headed into that green room.
Dude, what if this really is the case? What if the boss right now is so pissed at us because, like, are you kidding? There's a story about my master plan and you guys read about it today of our fire drill?
Like there's a boss Facebook group where they come up with creative ways to get everyone out of the office, and this is like the most popular one.
Now, our boss is Ryan Castle, so what is he the one that did the fire drill?
He's working from home.
Yeah, so pretty much he can do it whatever he wants. I mean, really, so
he
it's
can
not
have his
him.
fire drills whenever he wants.
So it's not that boss. So we have other bosses we have to investigate because there's a lot of bosses in our company. I mean, everyone's got a title. I think right now they give anybody the vice president title just to keep them quiet.
Vice president of fire drills.
Yeah, who's the VP of fire drills? Who's that?
Can you imagine doing a fire drill at home? Wife, go stand outside.
Doing a fire drill.
Why? First of all, if you just referring to your person's wife, guess what? There, Fred Flintstone. I hope you have a good life.
I mean, be respectful. Woman, get outside. We're having a fire drill.
I mean, really. I'm interested in Vicky, since Sarah talked about the weird, dumb things she's done at work. I'm wondering if there's anything Vicky feels at this fine place of employment, because you have done a lot of stupid things, but I wonder what you think is the dumbest thing you've had to do.
It's like dumbest and strangest. It's like a whole bunch of things, whether being in front of a camera or behind. First one that came to mind was having to film Bobby Lee's interview where he proceeded to get fully naked.
I'm so sorry for that.
I appreciate, though, he hit the boy, so I never saw the twig and berries.
I mean, it was...
I saw the rest.
He did the tuck, and it was, which I don't know. I think I'd rather have seen the twig and berries.
Well, he did the tuck, but he, like, covered himself. I think that was for me.
It's respectful.
He was very respectful. I'm here for it.
You know,
that was the strangest thing that's ever happened here at work.
It really
and I
is.
do. I appreciate it because I see Bobby Lee now in a lot of stuff on television. He's a really talented dude.
I love him.
And a great guest. And Bobby Lee would give up the body literally to do great radio for us. But I really did feel sorry for you. I'm like, he's really doing it. He's going to get naked. I cannot believe Bobby Lee and he's running around our building naked.
And it was the start of multiple times where every time we'd book him, I'm like, man, I want to have him on because he's super fun. He's a nice guy. And he's just as weird off the air. It's not like it's a shtick. It's like he's willing to drop pants at any given moment. But like, it's like, dude, I don't know. Is this really going to work? And we always did it because it's like, well, let's just see what will happen. But that first time where he like dropped all of his pants and then he kind of got like, he left the studio like almost was like having like some weird moment with himself, not like in a sexual way, even though he was naked. And then he crawled up into a fetal position outside of our boss's door. And it was like, oh man, when's our... It was epic.
Yeah, it was really, really epic.
This is not the kind of thing that you will see in any other office job.
No.
Usually.
And I want to say this
unless you work for Bobby Lee.
Or if you have another coworker that really likes Bobby Lee and wants to emulate him.
Yeah, and guys, would you say this also? You could tell he's got a heart of gold. You could tell he means no harm. Like when Vicky said, like you said, Vicky, he didn't really want to expose himself to you. He was just doing what he thought would be funny, and he tried to be, in a way, respectful. And I see him in a lot of good stuff. Isn't he one of the voices?
Inside Job, yes.
Yeah, he's so good. Yeah, he's Bobby Lee's great. Mm-hmm. So, but I'm like Steve. I don't know how to feel about him because he really is a great guy, great, talented. But you're going, I mean, just at any point, like, what's he going to do?
He's like, I'm giving the people what they want.
Yeah.
At least every other time we kind of had like we were ready for it. That first time, you just weren't ready for a man that just decides like. And I'm standing right next to him, like how Vicky is right by me, like 3 feet, if that, apart from us. And I'm like, what do I do? Do I grab him? Like.
No, you don't. You really don't want to do that.
No.
He's naked. Yeah, you really don't want to.
And then when he was like naked laying on the ground next to his boss's door, I'm like, do I grab him by his feet and drag him back into the studio?
Okay, that visual would have been worth it.
But I'm like, I don't want to be disrespectful of him.
Yeah.
But he's naked in our building.
You just never, like, how many radio conferences have we gone to? There's never been a seminar. There's never been a class, a school in college that would ever say, okay, here's what you do in this situation.
How to deal with naked guests.
Yeah, you just never would think that would come up.
And I never thought about it until right now. I've never heard of an instance where he's done this anywhere else. Like,
no.
You would think like from all the peers that we have in social media that we're friends with all these radio people that have also had him on their shows. He's done other radio here in Seattle. I've never once heard Bobby Lee got naked and got weird in front of our boss's office.
So then it's us. What is it about us that we bring this out in people?
You're just special?
I don't know. I mean, it's,
Remember he had a tattoo and it said Steven on it? And then he was telling me that he got it from me.
I think he did.
And he didn't break, like, at no point did he break character. And I was just like, I know you're joking, but then he wouldn't let it go. And I'm like, maybe did he really do this?
Dude,
like,
I know that's how good of an actor he is.
This is something that he would do. Like, just I'm gonna randomly get a radio guy's name on my. I mean, it turned out no, and then he shared like a weird story about that, and I'm just like, I can't have conversations with this.
I loved it. I did love the fact that he blew your mind. I remember like Steve is done. I was like, you don't see Steve pretty much go, that's it, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I've had plenty of those moments on this show.
Yes.
But Steve, you don't get to see. And so to sit there and go, wow, this is the Steve time. This is where Steve, I think, is like, I have got to get out of here. This is enough for me.
I've seen a lot. No, I was on board to watch. It was stupid and crazy, but like, yeah, you're right. Like, I've seen a lot of crazy things in the radio station, from the puppetry of the penis people.
Yeah, you've seen a lot.
People doing like weird things and stapling things in places, but none stranger than Bobby Lee.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Man, I love that.
It's like that time of the other stranger ones, which was way more cool, when we had the 3 porn stars that came to, Stoya, Riley Steele, and Jessie Jane.
Yeah, we had that was a good trio.
They came in for an interview, and at no point we were trying to like do like, hey, take off your tag. We weren't doing any of that. They were just in town, and of course you got to have them on.
Chat with them.
It's our public service to our audience.
Yeah,
of course.
And then during the commercial break, one of them just takes her top off. I think it was Jessie Jane. He goes, look at these.
Yeah.
And we're like,
well,
thank you.
Yeah. See, now, Steve, I've been part of radio for years where they came in and it was expected of them. So I think they didn't realize that you didn't need to do that anymore. Like I don't know, did we evolve as a business? But you're right. We just didn't have that expectation anymore. But in the 80s and in the 90s, it was a thing that, if they came in, I remember I won't say I don't think Weez would mind.
Well, at this point, it's too late.
Yeah, I don't think Weez would mind. But I remember we had one exotic dancer come in Rochester, and she decided she didn't want to get naked, and we were taking pictures. And back then, nobody cared about the pictures you took, and everywhere we're fine. So I remember Weez going, "Why do you think I got you in this room? Well, you ain't going to get naked. We got to take pictures." And I remember the woman said, "Well, I get paid to do that." He goes, "And I get paid to be putting stuff on." And it was one of the most epic arguments. It wasn't like Weez was wanting to see it himself. Weez was a businessman. He's like, "I got to get listeners, and I got to yell. How are they supposed to go see you dance?" And I can't use all the words he used because it was just so Weez. And I remember sitting there just going, I would add something because I'm the sidekick. I'm supposed to make it funny, but there was nothing you needed to add. This was an amazing
haggling nudity with a stripper.
And it was on air, so it was brilliant as he's having a fight on air with the exotic dancer saying, "You got to get naked now. It's part of the gig." I mean, listen, I get someone coming in the comic. What does the comic do? He does comedy. Okay, I get the actor. He does a little acting. You come in, you ain't going to get naked. That ain't how it works. You know, and it was just the greatest conversation.
Fine, BJ, I'll take my clothes off.
Oh my God! Please no.
And I mean, I just remember sitting there going, you know what? I want this guy to defend me if I'm ever in any criminal situation at all. He needs to be my lawyer.
Didn't one of the other ones, I think it was Riley Steele, that also dropped her pants and had, I think, Stoya bounce a quarter off of her butt.
Awesome.
And again, this is all happening during a commercial break.
Yes, this was, this was a public service for us, for doing a public service for other people.
That was a moment where this is the greatest job I'll ever have.
Oh, yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, Danny, we
came back from the break, and I think I was speechless. It was just like, I don't even know what to say anymore. Like,
yeah.
Thank you. We'll promote Pirates or whatever it was, Babysitters or whatever movie it was.
Oh, it was definitely Pirates.
Yeah. It was Pirates.
Nice.
Good film.
Oh, well, speaking of good films, a VHS tape of a popular movie just sold for $75,000. Oh, man. I'm going to tell you why a VHS sold for that much at 7:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. If I call Travis, will I actually see him or someone who works for him?
Absolutely. When you come in to see my office, when you first call in, my staff will try to help you with any basic questions that you have. I can give you a call back, but they'll usually try to schedule you for a free consultation with me, the attorney, and I'll meet with you personally. We'll talk about the basics of your case, and I'll take you through a question and answer session an interview that usually lasts about 30 minutes. We'll get the basics of your financial situation. I can answer your questions, and we can talk about whether bankruptcy makes sense, your non-bankruptcy options, and how bankruptcy could affect you, what the process is.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at ChooseTheRightChapter.com. That's ChooseTheRightChapter.com. Thanks for listening.
Wendy's Pretzel Bacon Pub Cheeseburger is back. A flavor spectacle of pretzel proportion. Featuring applewood smoked bacon and hot and juicy beef. It puts beer cheese on top of Munster cheese and a pretzel bun on top of all that. Simply put, Wendy's Pretzel Pub puts the EAT in greatness. Try one today and see for yourself. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Pretzel Bacon Pub Cheeseburger.
For a limited time only at participating Wendy's.